G'day everyone, how's it going? Mr. Chat News. Jumped on the stream very quickly. Once again, YouTube's been a pain in my ass. So I tried to set up an event and I've gone live, but it hasn't updated. It's like it doesn't know that I'm actually live. So let me know like how everything is, the audio levels, quality. I did a massive revamp, so hopefully everything's showing up, because I should actually have like a overlay and stuff now, because I've fully switched over from Twitch now to YouTube. Looking good? All right. Awesome. Thanks, Chat News. So, I'll be able to talk to you about this because you were in the last stream. This is probably about the 4th iteration I've had of the little modules. And I've gone with this socket design. Sounds 5x5, awesome. I'm not able to do a socket design for both planes, but having this one edge really helps out in lining everything up. So far, this is a pretty good system. It does have some flaws and some pretty game-breaking issues, I think. It looks awesome. I love the way it all comes together, like when they're actually merged together. All the connectors are actually connected up too, because the what I was planning on doing. Gamer, how's it going, buddy? Oh, you're at work? Oh, that sucks. It's pretty late here. It's nearly 10 p.m. I just thought I'd randomly start streaming. I wanted actually to do a sort of a test and see what the viewership is like if I don't plan a stream, if I just sort of start one randomly. Already this is better than Twitch with 4 viewers. Anyway, the whole point of the connectors being actually wired up was I was going to put turrets on the end that I would be able to disconnect and move out further as I made this thing bigger. All right, so one of the whoa, 7 a.m. Geez, it's a bit early. One of the major issues is Clang does not like this at all. The fact that I'm using rotors for this. I never noticed it on a planet before, because when I was attaching them, I was always attaching them to a station, so it was always solid. But because this is a moving object, when I connect the rotor head, there's a lot of phantom force in there. And if I don't line this up correctly, it jolts the battery into place, which can result in either everything in this area exploding, or best case scenario, it throws it like at a 90-degree angle. So it's very dangerous. I have to be very careful lining these up. They have to be perfect, which is kind of bad. So there is that issue to get around. The next issue is I'm having a problem with connectors randomly disconnecting. Like I'll load up the game and all of these will be yellow. So I'm not 100% sure what to do with that. I guess I could possibly replace a couple of these with merge blocks. So then that way it'd all be one grid. Although I don't know how I'm going to do this one here. I wouldn't be able to merge block this socket system, because there's basically two blocks taking up the same space. Not 100% sure. Anyway, let's go down to the base. I want to show you the second iteration of the two ships. Oh yeah, I had a little bit of an accident. And let's get a little bit of light. So how are you guys doing anyway? It's been a few days since we last spoke. All right, so this is the Meganura Mark II, fully decked out. I'm really happy with the shape. I really like how I got the thruster pods to look the way I wanted. And this is what I'm calling the Archaeopteryx. So that's the utility vehicle to move around the modules. All right, no worries, gamer. Thanks for stopping in, man. I guess the good thing about streaming on YouTube is this will go straight up to my channel after it's done. So if someone misses something or they miss the stream, they can watch it whenever they want, which is good. So I ended up going with the tier 1 thrusters. If we have a look in, probably in here would be the best bet. Let's get rid of that. Let's bring up hydrogen thruster. So the small ship. Actually, let's look at. Yeah, let's look at the large ship, because that's what we're using there. So it's 22 metal grids, 10 large steel tubes, 30 construction components, and 30 steel plates. We have a look at the tier 1 large. It's exactly the same, except it adds 20 computers. So it's fairly cheap, which is kind of against my no OP thruster mod, because these they provide double the thrust, but they also consume double the hydrogen at the same time. So I guess that is a good thing. But the whole reason why I added them is because they look a million times better than the vanilla ones. If we let's just build a little test pad here. Also, feels like I'm losing frames. Down to 38. Normally runs at 60 FPS. All right, I'll keep an eye on that. All right. I've noticed there's a lot more like game hitches when I'm ever since putting that solar satellite up. It's a lot more constant. And I don't think it's the like the script. I think it's actually because I have so many objects up there that are connected and they're constantly moving as well. So I think that's causing issues. Anyway, let's get some hydrogen in here. I mean, some ice in here so we can start producing hydrogen. Throw a battery on there to get it going.
Fuel critical.
See, look at that. Massive frame hitches. Okay, let's grab the hydrogen. This is the vanilla one. And let's grab... Bring him down before he gets over here, please. What the? Must have been some debris. Anyway. Okay. So that's the reason. That's just at idle. That's the vanilla one. That's the tier 1. This instantly looks a million times better. Watch when it... let's put a seat on here so we can actually see the entire thing. Wow. FPS loss is insane. Yeah, I don't know what the game is doing, but it doesn't like it. Let's put these in a group. We may as well make this look as good as possible. Groups. Increase thrust override and decrease. Look at that. Like, doesn't it look so much better? So good. They actually they sound better as well. I would suggest converting my space pieces to a station for now. Maybe you have too much scrap laying around. No, not really. It's definitely not scrap because I've been through this list a million times and cleared out everything that was in here, and it was basically just the pirate bases and just my bases, and then that was it, and it was still doing that constant lag. But yeah, let's get rid of this stuff anyway, because that's obviously not helping. But yes, that was one of the first things I did, chat, is I cleaned out all the debris. But it's basically unplayable. I will not be able to record an episode if it does that. Alright, back to normal. Also, I've noticed that whenever I load the game up, this thing becomes disconnected, which is why I have the connector on the front now, because I had it here. And then I loaded in one time and it loaded in disconnected and it just dropped and blew everything up. It was a race to get the admin menu open, go down to global permissions and turn off damage just to salvage it. So at least now, like if it loads in and it's not connected, it'll just balance there by itself. But then I've got, God, the frame hitches are real. I've got some buttons down here to connect the Mega Mirror, which always gets disconnected, and the Archaeopteryx. There we go, that's good. All right, let's get rid of this. Yeah, so as you can see, I've spent a bit of time. This is actually a completely new craft as well. I didn't build this off the old one. I just used what I learnt from the first design and rebuilt it. So as you can see, there's no atmospheric thrusters because screw it. I know it'd be more efficient, but I really like the way it looks with 3 hydrogen. And it produces so much thrust that it's not a problem. As long as I can keep the hydrogen up to it, it's totally fine. Okay, let's do some tests. I want to see if removing this will fix those frame hitches. Actually, one thing we could try is maybe turning off the script so it's not moving. Let's check the gyros.
Fuel critical.
All right, I'm just watching the speed. It looks like the core is not moving. Let's go out to one of the edges. See if it's rotating. Very, very small amount. All right, now let's get back down there. Quicker way would be to go through here. Let's see what the frame hitches are like. Yeah, there's one. Another one. I don't think it's the script. I really think it's the fact that it's so many objects up there. Like, I know they're connected together with connectors, but the physics would still be applied to each individual object, I think. Another one. Yeah, no, it's still bad. I wonder if that's gonna blueprint it as a whole. Yeah, okay, cool. Because what I want to do is actually remove this altogether. Or I guess what we could do is possibly merge block them. Well, that's kind of a pain. Why would you do that to me? Alright, we can do that. Actually, this is going to be a bit of a pain because I won't be able to get this one in until we move it away. And doing that, we're going to have to disconnect all of this row, basically. Let's get rid of this. Okay. What I'm thinking is we just build a oops. Okay. So we can push it out and then bring it back in when we need to connect them up. All right, so let's get rid of all these. So the as I was saying before, I did a complete revamp with my Streamlabs and everything and got fully switched over to YouTube. So I can actually see the chat in Streamlabs OBS, which is good. And like if someone subscribes or whatever, it'll show up there and I can do what I need to do, basically. So it's good. All right, so the reason why I was removing that connector was just so it disconnected, but now that I think about it, I could have just turned it off and that would have done it. That's all right. Because I still want them to be connected with connectors, because then I can still transfer ammo and stuff through them. Awesome. That's good to know, chat. Yeah, I've noticed that the like my frames are back up to 60 FPS while I'm up here. The frame lag like only happens when I'm down at base. Do you think it's like I'm looking at the wrong area? Maybe it's just a coincidence that the lag is happening after I built this thing. Maybe it's something down in my base that's causing it. I don't know. Anyway, let's get this thing separated. All right, beautiful. What's the bet this just completely explodes on me? All right, connectors. That one's good, but we've got to put that one back in. All right, we are ready to come back in. All right, let's wait for the explosion. Nice. I have a timer block set up. Every 10 seconds it tries to connect all the connectors, and that's what you just saw then. So it's good to see that's working. That was my Oh really? You think it is you think it is something at the base? There is far more blocks there. Yep. And there's a lot more moving parts as well, because each bay, like in the hangar, they're elevators. I've built that personnel elevator as well. Not to mention there's several ships. So yeah, it does make sense. Maybe I've gone too far. Okay, that seemed to connect pretty good. Like I said before, I can't do the same thing with this unless I redesign this socket system.
Fuel critical.
So rather than having, what is it? 16, 19. Rather than having 19 separate modules, we'd separate it to, we'd just have 4. It'd be 4 separate modules. Anyway, let's get the next one set up. That looks good. I can also remove this now. let's get underneath here. And we're merge blocking this one. There was one that was, yeah, this one here. It's not colored right. It was driving me nuts. All right, so we'll turn all these ones off so they disconnect. Beautiful. All right, we'll get it separated. Yeah, no, that's exactly right, chat. I'm not having any problems here. We're getting 60 updates a second and 60 FPS a second. Like it's not causing me any issues at all up here. Gotta be something in the base, which is understandable, really, considering what I've done at that place. That was a big one. Did I miss one? I did. This is another frame hitch. I think we're ready to go. All right, bring these in. All right, looks good. One more.
Fuel critical.
All right, so we're merge blocking this one here on the left. Another frame hitch there. Ah, that was the save. That's all right. I'm used to that one. And we don't need to do that one. All right, let's get them separated. It's such a shame that I probably won't be able to do this because I really like this system, and it was so much fun to fly the rocket up with two of these things attached to it, and then manipulate them into place with the Archaeopteryx. It was so much fun, but it's probably not going to work, sadly. That was a big frame hitch, that one. Rain for 3 days. It's insane. Whereabouts are you, chat? We haven't had much rain at all, to be honest. And we could really use some. Oops. All right, I think that's all of them. All the connectors are on. We just got to move it back into place. Watch it lock up. I like the way it merges. It just, like seeing that seam disappear is, I don't know, it's kind of bizarre. Wait for the connectors to reconnect. There it is. All right, so we're down to four strips. And that means the script here yeah, it's got 64 panels, whereas before it was only calculating for 10 because that was how many solar panels were on this core module. It was just counting those 10 around the outside. But the other solar panels were still working, like they were still transferring power into the batteries, but the script wasn't updating it. Yeah, right. That's the way the strip merges. Yeah, it's extremely fun to watch. There's a big frame hitch there. Oh, okay, no worries.
Fuel critical.
Yeah, we need to get some rain desperately. The trouble is where I live in Queensland, we go through this thing where like if it rains, it absolutely pours for days. And then we'll go for months without rain, and we'll be on the verge of drought. Yeah, it's like an ongoing joke for Queensland. It's either dry as hell or it's flooded. I love watching that. That's so cool. All right, let's get down to base. I want to bring the rocket up. I'm going to show you how that goes. Looks like all the refineries are working. And are the assemblers working? No, I don't think so. We don't have enough gold to do those. And we don't have enough platinum to do those. So it's... The assemblers aren't working. Frame hitches are really bad. That's not stream lag. I'm actually getting that in game. It's terrible. Is Australia good for metal detecting? That's news to me. Is it a specific area in Australia or just Australia in general? That's odd. Oh, I painted the entire base white when I was... whatever. Let's go down and check the ships. Yeah, down to 38 FPS in the base. They're both connected. That's a big one. Down to 12 frames for a second there. It's connected. Don't think there's anything in this last one. No, it's empty. Nothing in there, and we should have the Wyvern in the first one. And it's still connected. Yeah, something I noticed is when I stand on one of these elevators, notice that my speed is moving. So, and you can sort of see the elevator like vibrating. So I'd say the game is struggling with all these elevators, to be honest. Oh, what if I was to lock them in place with a landing gear? I don't need to go through there. I've got an actual maintenance tunnel. Where is it? Here. So say... like at the beach or by a river. Largest gold nugget ever found with a metal detector was found in Australia. Okay. That makes sense. Actually, we don't need that one. So let's get our landing gear out. Of course, it's not going to place there. The trouble is that's most likely going to connect too early. I have a feeling that's what's going to happen. Let's try it out. TB. It is L1 we're working on. Let's trigger that. Get out of the way. And place that down there. So the way I was going to do it is I was going to leave it on auto lock. Then when it comes down, it locks on. And when you trigger the elevator to move up, the first thing it does is it unlocks the landing gear. That's all I was going to do. But I have a feeling these large landing gear actually attach a little bit too soon. Enough to make it extremely irritating. But we'll give it a go. So it is HBL1 is the timer block. Trigger. Yep, I thought so. That's a big difference. That's a full 50 centimeters, basically. And if we have a look in here, it's going to look absolutely terrible. And will ruin all my hard work. But it has stopped the movement. It's not vibrating. Speed has gone down to 0. So it might actually help out the frame situation. Possibly. If we can find a way to get it to line up correctly. So we're definitely not going to be able to use auto lock. Let's turn that off. And let's just put a control panel here. This one here. Sounds like something's clanging out. It's definitely not this though. This is rock solid by the looks of it. Clang might be about to take your elevator. Which elevator do you think? Is it like, are you talking about that one or this one? Because it sounds like it's coming from over here. Oh, I know what that noise is. It's that sliding door. I've made the sensor really large and I'm pretty sure it comes all the way out to here. So what I've been doing is walking in and out of that sensor, which has been triggering that door. And yeah, it does clang out. I have noticed that these doors, they hit on stuff randomly. So that's what that clanging is. Yeah, but I like this. How can I get this to work? We need another elevator at the, we need another landing gear at the top as well. So, I believe this one is the one. I hope it is. Yeah. HBL1. We'll send the elevator to the top. Oh, we won't be able to do that because we need to put a landing gear in there. Although it would be nice to see how far it goes up. All right, so we can do it from here and attach it to the roof here, I think. Yeah, that should be all right. So I have to come up one more block. And that'll most likely do it. It's nice that it's going to let me place that there. Surprised that didn't lock though. Maybe we're going to come out further. Put the whole thing on there. That's better. The one that you were working on. Okay. Explain, chat. Why is Clang gonna destroy it? Is there something I'm doing that's wrong? Like playing around with landing gear and pistons? Okay, so just trying to think of how I can get the landing gear to actually lock now that I'm not going to use auto lock. Attach it right to the door face. Yeah, I could. Thank you. Thank you, chat. That is a way better idea. Just smack bang there. Yeah, that's awesome. Thank you. Way better. Yeah, so what I'm worried about is that I'm gonna need like a timer to get the landing gear to trigger. Ah, okay, no worries. So what you're saying is because I'm trying to fight against like forces that it's going to clang out. It's I mean, it's understandable. I can see where you're coming from. But I'm really curious to see if this is what's causing the frame hitches, is because the game's constantly updating the speed of which these are moving. If I attach it with a landing gear, like it stops all movement. It doesn't move at all. So I'm wondering if I get all these elevators locked on like this, if that actually frees up the lag. Chat, can you think of a way that I can get these like, because I can't use auto lock. A sensor would be good. Yes. So maybe it senses a subgrid, and then yeah, possibly like possibly here. I think I got rid of my sensors. No, there they are. My God. Frame hitches are real. Let's do this from build vision. Be a lot easier. All right, right down to 1. All right, let's change it over to subgrids. There's no guarantee that it'll clang out. It just could. Yeah. That's fair enough. Oh, okay. That's good. The sensor is less than a full block. I thought it couldn't go down to smaller than a block, but it can. So we can get rid of that and actually put this here. Should make this a lot easier. Let's get subgrid. That's basically all we need. So we will have to come out a little bit further. This can come up as well. so that's as small as we can do it. Okay, so when something enters, well, when the subgrid enters this volume, we need to get the landing gear to lock. And I think it's just going to be landing gear 2 at this point. We're going to have to name it. You'll have to have a sensor and time it so that the thing comes all the way up to the position and then lock. Careful with my advice. I have never actually put any playtime into this game. Okay. No worries. I'm the type of person that likes to learn things the hard way anyway. So I tend to ignore advice if it's something I want to experience for myself. Which is like, it's bad. It's both a bad and a good thing because like I get a better understanding of it if I experience the you know, the bad thing myself. I get a better understanding of it and then I know how to avoid it better. No worries, chat. All right, what landing gear is this? Landing gear 4. We need to rename that. It's irritating me. Okay, setup actions. When a subgrid enters the field, the volume, we're going to get that to lock. But we're going to need a timer. Like even just a 1 second delay. Yeah, we need a timer block. Because what's going to happen is this will all be well and good when the elevator comes up. It'll touch this. Actually, did I must have changed it. So when the elevator comes up, it'll touch that volume and then it'll lock the landing gear, which is fine. But when I'm dropping the elevator, I'm going to release the lock and it's going to instantly relock because it's triggered in this volume. So what we need is like a 1 second delay that it won't trigger it straight away, basically. So it gives it a chance to move out of that volume first. So we're going to place a timer block. And the only thing this is going to do, actually we may as well name this as well, just to HBL1 top gear. Top gear, Jesus. Anyway, 1 second set of actions. Oh, slow down, chat. Nats, I'm building. Yeah, I'm fixing the elevator, I guess. Well, not really fixing it. I'm trying to make it better. Just give me 1 second, and we'll explain it. Landing gear. HBL1 landing gear. So it will lock that after a second. Okay, and then we need to change this sensor. So rather than locking the landing gear, it actually triggers that timer. HBL1. There's going to be 2. There it is there. And we want to start, not trigger now. So it gives us that 1 second delay. All right. So that should work. We will need to change the actual timer block for the elevator moving to include releasing the landing gear. Okay, Nats. So my entire hangar has these elevators, which like they basically like they put the aircraft out of sight, so this becomes like a full runway. And honestly, they look amazing. I'm really happy with how they turned out, but I'm noticing a lot of frame hitches every now and then whenever I'm near the base, and it was pointed out to me that it's most likely something to do with the base. And just standing on an elevator, you can see the speed moving, fluctuating, only very slightly because the elevator is actually vibrating. And I'm thinking, because I've got 5 of these things now, it's starting to lag the game. So rather than removing that design completely, because I really, really do love it, I'm trying to stop the elevators from moving and seeing if that helps. So if we stand on this one now, you'll notice that the... God damn it. You left debris, didn't you, you bastard? As if my game isn't slow enough without your crap everywhere. Alright, everything else is good. Yeah, so standing on this elevator, you can see the, like it's not moving at all. Completely still. So I'm trying to incorporate this landing gear system into the design as simply as possible with the help of chat. So we're going to go with the sensor setup. How much delay is on YouTube, chat? Type something in, type 1 in chat when you hear this. I just want to see how long the delay is. Freeze X, how you going, buddy? Welcome to the stream. Thank you for joining. You've come to watch me muck around in the hangar and try and sort out this elevator system. Riveting stuff it is. Wow. That is, that's a good like 30 seconds, I reckon. 30-second delay. That's terrible. Thanks for helping me out with that. That's good. Because I noticed on Twitch, it was only like maybe about 10 to 15 seconds. It was actually pretty good. Anyway, let's adjust the timer block for hangar bay left 1. Setup actions. Okay. So it swaps over the lights and then it triggers the pistons. What we're going to do is we're going to swap over the lights. We're not going to do the pistons there. Let's grab HBL1. We're going to do the pistons there, and we're going to trigger this timer block first. Start. Oh, we're going to have another timer block, aren't we? Or can we reuse the same thing? We might be able to reuse the same one and just group up both landing gear. But we will have to have 2 sensors. Twitch is always better, yeah. I feel the same way, Freeze. I much prefer that platform for streaming. But sadly, I just wasn't getting any views. Like, none of my subscribers would come over. Like, I was sitting on three views average for an entire stream. So it's because it's a subgroup with ships locked to it. I'm not 100% sure what you're talking about, chat. I'm assuming I was talking about something about 30 seconds ago, and you've got some input on it, and I've completely forgotten what I was talking about, which you know, it's regular thing that happens. All right, are we gonna test this out? Because I think this is ready. I'm gonna get rid of that spiteful aggressor though. See you later. All right, let's do it. All right, I think chat was right in saying that we needed 2 seconds on the delay. Dangle Games, yes I did indeed. You can check it out. I have the full series is on my channel, where I basically built everything. All of this was in survival. What I've been doing lately is I've just been streaming creative mode for when I want to test out new ideas on like the direction I want to take the series. So yeah, you're getting some spoilers at the moment. All right, let's we need to swap over the lights because I've reversed that now. Oh, I need to reverse the pistons as well. Yeah, because they're extending up. So I need to reverse the pistons and I need to reverse the lights. So, which I can't do like that because it'll turn them all on. What a pain in the ass. Oh, that's all right. I can turn them on and then grab the spotlight by itself and turn that off. There we go. That's better. All right, let's see if 2 seconds works. I'm having second thoughts about how I've set this up. Is this disengaging at all? Let's have a look. HBL 1. No, not that. Wait. I set the timer block up wrong. Because all it does is lock the landing gear. It never unlocks it. So for this to work, I would have to switch lock. I'm not sure if that's still going to work, but we'll try it. We'll see if that works. So this one here, we want to switch lock. Okay, it should work now. And I do think that 1 second was enough time. We'll see though. It is not locked. What's going on? I started watching it, but it makes me depressed. I wish I could get into the game like you. I have no clue what I'm doing half the time. Daniel, I hear this like all the time. Honestly, like every time I stream or like there's lots of comments on my videos where people have said the same thing, like the game doesn't do a good enough job of teaching you how to play. It gives you a whole bunch of tools and no direction at all, an open world, and just says go for it. And you've got to figure it all out yourself, which it's good for some people, like for me, because I don't know, I enjoy just mucking around with random crap. But for other people, it's difficult to learn. And then if you can't get good at something, you sort of lose interest in it, and then that's it. So I've been working on trying to get a tutorial series up where we go through everything, like how to set up your game, all the mechanics involved in the game. And then I want to go through each individual block as well and explain what it does, where it's useful, the different things you can do with it, all that type of thing. But I've tried recording a few of the episodes at least 3 or 4 times, and they're not streamlined enough. I want them to be like short videos that are just to the point. You can use it as a reference type of thing. Now I've completely forgotten what I was doing. We're trying to work out why the elevator's not moving. HBL1 trigger. It's fine. It's moving. What did I do? YouTuber Splitsy makes good tutorials. Yes, indeed. Definitely. In fact, 90% of what I know is from just watching Splitsy play in general. So yeah, he's definitely a good place to start. Set up actions. What? Yeah, I do have that on. Oh, it moved then. That's weird. I've got about 30 hours, but there are no people online on the servers. Multiplayer is in a really good place at the moment. Splitsy actually has a Patreon server, which I'm not 100% sure if I'm meant to be advertising it, but I just wanted to use it as an example. Where there's like 8 of us that play on there, and it's really good. But yeah, I can tell. I know what you mean. Like if you can't find a server with people that play on it regularly, and if like single player doesn't speak to you, then I totally understand that. I'm quite happy playing single player. but I do enjoy the multiplayer aspect as well. Okay, let's change that down to 1 second. I don't need that. I don't think that needs to be on 2 seconds. And we'll oh, I've got the lights all reversed again now. Oh, I know what it was. I didn't fix the pistons. They were in the reverse order. That's why it wasn't moving. Anyway, let's get to the lights. HB L1. Let's grab all the lights and turn them off. Actually, no, we need to turn them on now. And spotlight goes off. Because we're up on the main deck. Yeah, basically chat. If you want to know how it works, Splitsy has a video on it. Yeah. All right. So I don't think I need the 1 second delay. To be honest. I'm going to try it without it. Nats, were you trying to post a link? Because it got deleted. Oh no, it says message retracted. Okay. Just going to turn the aircon on. Just give me a sec. 400 degrees in my room. Okay, so we need to change the TB top gear timer. No, we're going to bypass that altogether. We want to go for sensor 5. Remove that. And grab the landing gear itself and switch lock. Okay, and then we want to change the timer block for moving the elevator, which is HBL1. This one here, set up actions. We're going to remove that altogether. And then we need to grab this landing gear. We want to unlock. What I might actually do is change that sensor to only lock. I'm pretty sure I can just change it from here. Lock. All right, let's have a look. Yes, I am Daniel. I am Australian. Beautiful. That's pretty good. We don't need that timer block. Yep. So as long as I keep the sensor, so it's only the very edge of it, it's totally fine.
Critical.
Get rid of that. All right, we need another sensor for the bottom. Oh my god, these frame hitches. That's not stream lag, by the way, guys. That's actually in the game. I'm experiencing that now, which is what we're trying to fix right now. I have a feeling this is what it is. Ah, nice work. Whereabouts in Australia are you from? I'm in Queensland. Melbourne. Okay, cool. Okay, we need to rename the bottom landing gear and we need to put it into a group because we need them to be able to unlock with the same timer block that calls the elevator. I believe it's this one here. HBL1 bottom. And let's get a group for those. Oh my god. That'll do. That looks good. Okay, now we need to grab that timer block that triggers the elevator. Set up actions. Instead of just unlocking that first one, we're going to grab the group with both landing gear. And we're going to unlock both of them. So that way, no matter which end it's at, if it's at the bottom or the top, both of them will unlock and let the elevator move. Now we do need a sensor for it reaching the bottom. I think we can put it here. It's not going to trigger on the landing gear because the landing gear is a part of the same grid. It's only going to be triggered for subgrids. So let's have a look at this. We'll see if this works. I will need to rename these at some point as well. Let's show on HUD. Left and right extent can disappear. Bottom can disappear. The top needs to be 1.2. Back can be 0 or 1. And the front, I think it needs to be about 6. Detect players off and detect subgrids on. Set up actions. We want to grab just the bottom landing gear. This one here. We need to lock it. That should work. Doesn't need to come out that far, but that's all right. We only need it just to touch the tip, just the tip. I wonder if that gets me demonetized. All right, let's have a look. Oh my god. Please, frames, I need you. Sounded like it locked and lined up nicely. Let's have a look. Yep, spot on. Okay, now we should be able to get this to still move with that same button press. Perfect. Now, I'm not going to do this for every single one on stream because I think it'll be a bit boring. But what I do want to do is actually test to see if this is working. So let's get out of here. And by working, I mean, is it gonna fix that stupid frame lags? Oh, I don't even know where I am now. That was horrible. All right, so we're gonna go to every single elevator and just lock them in place. Oh, this one's already done. All right, that one's done. Better shut the door. All right, we'll do HBL3. So if this works at fixing the frame drops, I'll go ahead and fix it off camera basically, because it's very like anything that's is repetitive like that. I never show it on stream or in the videos just because it's boring. Like once you see it once, that's it. I don't want to do it again, let alone make you guys sit through it, so. I have a feeling I'm gonna have to clear out all of this. Although it's not part of a subgrid, it's an actual station, so it might work. Yeah, it's fine. Sweet. Still getting mega frame hitches. All right, I think we might have to move this one. Actually, a quicker way would just be to do that. Beautiful. We will have to turn that off though for now. Okay. TC, I really hope you get this worked out. I would hate to see you abandon this base because of frames. Yeah, that's what I'm worried about too, man. Because I'm thinking about all the stuff I have planned as well. And like if I'm already getting issues with it, like look at that, that was terrible. I'm going to be in big trouble basically. It could very well kill the game for me, to be honest. Because this is what I love about Space Engineers, is the fact that I can make moving platforms and, you know. That's it. I'm pretty sure every elevator's done now. Except for the personnel elevator. That's rock solid, that one. The personnel elevator is going to be an absolute mission to try and lock that one in place because it has multiple stops. Yeah, I'm still getting frame issues.
Fuel critical.
I didn't show it on camera, but I actually put a text panel up there and I've got a script to change the text depending on what floor I stop on. I thought it was a pretty nice touch. And the text disappears when it's moving. And it's basically tied into when the door opens. All right, frames are still bad. Still sitting at 38. Locking those elevators didn't do anything at all. It's pretty bad. All right, I want to try something else. Let's go up here. Oops, a little bit too far. I'm going to try getting rid of this. Even though we were pretty certain it wasn't this that was causing the issue. Because the frames are perfect up here. What the? Oh, I don't have a jetpack on. Yeah, I got 60 frames up here, but I wanna see what it does. So I'm gonna get rid of this, and then we're gonna go back to base. Let's just walk around. Let's see how many frame hitches we get. Like I'm happy playing with 30 FPS, but it's the sections where it stops for like 2 seconds, where I don't get any frames at all. It just freezes. That's what I can't deal with. So far, it's really good. The reason why I'm moving is so you guys can see when it stops as well. Let's go up the elevator. We'll try and just mess around with it. Such a shame too, if it is that solar the solar satellite. So it was going to be a really cool project. I guess I could still do it technically. Maybe if I just build it as one giant structure instead of having multiple structures that I join together. I guess that's the next test. We build another one of those solar satellites, but it's all just one object, and we'll see how it goes. Because yeah, I haven't got a single frame hitch yet. It's been absolutely fine. Yeah, it's I'd say that's what the issue is, guys. As soon as I got rid of that thing, we have been fine. We need to get about 40 kilometers above the surface. About here.
Fuel critical.
You know, we could consider that might be a planetary bug. Possibly. Alright, let's get the character up here. So I'm just going to make this extremely simple. Guess it doesn't need to be. Let's go 39. Which is actually 40 because I placed a block first. 40 by 40. All right, cool. Solar panels. How did I mess that up? Oh, god damn it. All right, whatever. I don't even care. Let's go underneath and place our essential blocks. Now, from experience, I actually need a decent battery pack on this thing. So I think we'll just do this. Some gyros. We do need some thrusters as well, just to make sure it doesn't fall out of the sky. Need a cockpit for maintenance. Programmable block. Technically we need 2 programmable blocks, but just need 1 to get the solar script working. Solar alignment. Change gyro mode to true. Check code. Okay, that's good. What else do we need on this? Let's throw the thrusters on here now. Which are there. And sadly, I'll have to make this look ugly and just throw a thruster there. Okay, we've got to put this cockpit into a group called Solar Reference, which I spelt wrong. And that way the script will take control of it, put the gyros on override, and get this thing in position. There it is. It's going. All right. Let's get back to base while this thing's moving around. Wow.
Fuel critical.
Let's have a look. So that entire solar array was about the same amount of solar panels that I had on the modular one. The only difference is that is a single object as opposed to about 16 or so that I have I had connected with connectors, which was really fun. But it looks like it was the cause of the frame lags, unfortunately. Which doesn't really make a whole lot of sense. Because when we were up there, the frames were totally fine. Maybe because it wasn't trying to load this base as well as... Oh, there was the first frame lag. There's another one. Yeah, maybe because it wasn't trying to load both the base and the solar panels, the solar script or whatever. There was another frame hitch there. Nowhere near as bad though. Another one. Yeah. 2 in a row. I don't know, I'm starting to think it is that script now. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking, chat. It was calculating all those different modules as a separate entity. So when the solar script was trying to move it, it was moving all 16. And yeah, I think it was struggling. Although it's struggling now. It's just not as bad as before. Like I'm getting two hitches in a row and then it's fine for a little while. Whereas before I was getting like probably about 3 or 4 in a row and then occasionally it'd just stop for 2 seconds. Just wouldn't show anything. It is a lot better though. All right. Well, I need chat's help then. if we were to not go with the solar array, which I didn't put an antenna on, so I have no idea where it is. Guess I could just do this. If we don't go with, well, Jesus, if we don't go with this, what's another way that we could get power? Something fun that isn't going to cause frame issues. How efficient would this be if I didn't have the solar script on it to constantly rotate it? What if I just made this into a station that was completely stationary in space? Like, it'd still be pretty efficient, right? The only times it wouldn't get any power is when the sun's like directly pointing this way or directly pointing this way. Because it should be able to shine the light through the planet because the voxels are too far away for it to calculate it. So it'll just give me sunlight straight through it. And then that way I can still at least take the rocket ship up here and collect the batteries and then bring them back down to the base. But this would be a solid platform then, not moving, and probably wouldn't cause any lag at all, I don't think.
Critical.
Let's try it out. Let's get my character up here. So what we're going to do is remove all this. And technically we don't need that, because this thing's not going to be moving anymore. We do need a control panel, although we got batteries under here. How much do I depend on the power it's going to make? It's basically going to fund our expansion. It's very much needed for me to progress. All right, so let's go into info and we should be able to convert it to station. There we go. So now it's stationary. Does not move. Let's go down there. Straight away, big frame hitch. It was probably because it was loading in everything though. We'll give it the benefit of the doubt here. Do a little bit of a test. This entire stream has just been about frames. Sorry guys, not very exciting stuff. I haven't even shown you guys the rocket. It's critical that I work this out, to be honest. Because I'm at a stage in the series where I'm not 100% sure what to move on to next. That's why I'm trying out different ideas. There was a frame hitch there. Let's go up the elevator. Another frame hitch. Very small one though. Another one. I'm still getting massive frame hitches. Look at that, 3 in a row then. It could also be maybe the bases are... No, none of them are in range, so they shouldn't be spawning anything. What about this thing? Does this thing trigger like cargo ships and stuff to spawn in? Or is it only when players are nearby? I'm not sure. Fair enough, chat. I don't know. I'm honestly at a loss here. I have no idea what to do. I am going to take the rocket up though. I even built a hangar, its own like hangar for it as well. It's very dodgy, but it's pretty cool. So the idea is there will be a blast door that slides in through here and closes up. So it slides in from through this mountain and fully closes it up, which would be pretty cool. I put a sensor on the doors so they automatically open up when you get in that range, and then they close when you get out of the range. Morning long haul. How you going, buddy? It's actually getting pretty close to midnight here, so I'll have to wrap this up pretty soon. All right, so we'll go on full override. Actually, no, we don't need it. We'll go about 4 million newtons of thrust. That should be good enough. That'll definitely get us to space. I've got to be very quick when I turn on the thrusters and release the landing gear, because the thrusters try to rip the whole landing pad off. Look how good those thrusters look. Not even 7 a.m. yet. Wow. All right, let's stop burning all that fuel. It's not needed. So all I do is I use the override and adjust it to a point where I'm not maxing out my speed, and then that's the most efficient use of the hydrogen. So right now I'm only using 600 kilonewtons of thrust, and because I'm accelerating out of the gravity well, the further out of the gravity well we go, the more efficient the engines become. So I can keep turning them down. So we're at 0.2 G's of gravity now. Nearly there. And I can turn off the dampeners as well. So thrusters are fully off now. We're just going on our momentum that we had from when we launched. So we are losing a little bit of speed, but we might make it out of a gravity well just with this. Oh, I forgot the ship got detached. There is a wreck down at our base now, I'm pretty sure. Yep. Oh wow, it is in the middle of the planet. Okay, cool. Let's go to here. Let's see how much carnage we... Where did it fall off? It looks like it just phased through the planet. Looks like it hasn't damaged any of the base. Not that I really care anyway, because this is just a test. There we go. Now we're in space, officially. Yep, I'd say that's what happened long haul. Phased through the voxels. It was a small ship, so it could have reached 300 meters a second if given enough space. All right, so we want to aim a little bit higher than that so gravity will pull us down towards it. We'll try that. We'll see how accurate I am. I'm probably going to be a fair bit off by the looks of it. I didn't realize how much of an angle we left that. Something I don't like about this thing is it's very hard to land because I've only got the one cockpit on this one. I don't have the different orientated one. And I'm not sure if I can actually get out of this one.
Fuel critical.
Oh, I can. So I could technically put another cockpit in here. It needs to be orientated that way, so down like that. So I might actually move that cockpit up one and then put this one and put another one down the bottom there. Oh, you think? Chat, if that's the case, yeah, I wouldn't mind having to travel further to get to it. That's totally fine. If it would fix it. I'll keep that in mind. I might run a few more tests in the next couple of days and see if I can figure it out. Which way are we actually heading? We're actually heading down there. So I have failed. I have misjudged gravity. See if we can get us our trajectory up a little bit. All right. Let's get a retro burn. Wash off some of the speed. Oh, it took off all the speed. Thanks, Long Haul. SpaceX is a little bit more accurate with their landings, though. They don't land 2 kilometers away from their base. Try this again. Yeah, this thing's very difficult to land because the just because of the orientation of the seat. So if I want to go down now, I have to press backwards, which is kind of irritating. And if I want to go like towards the base now, I have to press C because I have to. Yeah, it's frustrating. So I definitely need another cockpit on this one, something orientated in this way here, so I can fly it a bit easier when I'm trying to land. All right, let's extend the landing gear. So touchy. Alright, I think that's good enough. As it bounces around.
Fuel critical.
Oh, I should probably have my dampeners on. I completely fell out of the rocket. Landed on my face. Yeah, landing could have been better. I don't have a button to extend. I don't think. What I was meant to do is lower the gear as well.
Fuel critical.
So the rocket comes down. Oh, it was fairly level though. That was pretty good. I'm happy with that. The very first time I landed this thing, it was so front heavy. It looked like the Leaning Tower of Pisa. This thruster was like embedded into the armor blocks. This one's it's actually fairly level. Oh, still gonna lock. Nice. Good as gold. All right, so that's the that's basically the Meganura. Oh, one thing I did want to show you guys is my method for creating the actual modules. So I thought of a number of different ways of how I could build these things and then get them onto this thing. And this turned out to be the best method. So I've got two projectors that are on pistons. And the reason why I've got them on pistons is so I can actually weld up these connectors. So if I go inside here, I've got some controls for this. Yeah, pistons. Yeah, so it extends the projectors out so I can weld it all up and then I can bring it back in and lock them. And that's basically where it gets its name, the Meganura. Because with those things, it looks like it's got giant wings. Spider Supreme, I have no idea, man. I haven't played Ark for months. I don't know how the situation is with building in it. Try putting a fence foundation down and seeing if you can get the pillar to snap to that instead. Yeah, so this was the idea for the different modules, but sadly it looks like we're going to lean away from it. All right, I think we are gonna leave it here, guys. Seeing as it's just hit midnight, and this was supposed to be just a quick stream. Ended up mucking around quite a bit, and I still have no idea what I'm gonna do because I don't know, frames. Rolexy. It's taken quite a while, to be honest. Probably 100 hours. I don't know. What do you reckon, guys? I've got, I think 30 episodes of building, but there's a lot of stuff I did off camera as well, like repetitive stuff. So yeah, easy 100 hours, I think. I really like the signs in here now. I think they look really good. Because I was always getting lost because all these entrances look exactly the same. Yeah, with grinding. Yep. This was all built in survival. So yeah. No, I have not built a truck yet. No.
Critical.
That is something I do want to do. Something like the goose, that was a big inspiration for me. Something with a trailer would be awesome. But yeah, at the moment I have no wheeled vehicles at all. It's all flying. All right, I gotta go, guys. I'm about to pass out. So I appreciate you guys hanging out with me today. Switch over to the outro, see if the credits work. Possibly. They're gonna work today. One sec, I'm gonna see if I can force them to work. Roll credits. Do it. I think it's working now. Oh, although there is nothing. There was no followers or anything, so yeah. Anyway. Thank you very much for hanging out, guys. I appreciate it. It was good fun, even though we were just screwing around with various stuff. But it was good. I will definitely catch you guys soon. I hope you enjoyed it. As always, don't forget to lead your targets, and I'll see you next time.